All right, so if you are still waiting for your manifestation, there's a good chance that you've probably been checking the 3D. Is it working? I don't see any signs. Let me check to see if my message is still left undelivered. If you are doing anything like that, even for physical appearance changes that you're trying to manifest, if you are looking in the mirror and you feel disappointed because you see no change, that is your problem. Okay? Now here's the thing. I understand that it's difficult, guys. I know that it's not easy for y'all to not check the 3D, okay? Because it's like you're telling yourself that you and your SP are banging each other every single minute, right? You're telling yourself that, oh yeah, I'm financially free. I don't have to work a day in my life. And there's your boss just fucking sending you a damn picture of the toilet that you forgot to clean. You're like, dude, fuck my life, man. It's not easy, guys, okay? And I'm not here to tell you that you guys are shitheads for checking your SP's WhatsApp status. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like if it's not normal. I mean, even as a coach, I have slip-ups all the time, right? But I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that is something that delays it, whether we like it or not. So we just gotta accept that reality, okay? And we need to figure out how are we going to deal with it. Well, number one, you have to understand that the 3D is just a receipt of the past, okay? It is just showing us what we purchased through our consciousness previously. Now, I don't want to go too much in depth into this because I have the habit of going into like a little tangent, and I want to give you guys some digestible things in this video. But you got to understand, guys, like if you can realize that principle of truth, that what you see in the 3D, the fact that your SP is being indifferent, the fact that there's still no results in the physical appearance change that you want, even after all the affirmations you said about money, it's still very stagnant. You're still dealing with the shitty boss. It is all a reflection of where your inner consciousness was being. And if you spent the past month constantly checking the 3D to see if it works, do an affirmation, and hey, is it here yet? Like after they did the snap in Avengers Endgame, they go to check to see, and there's Ant-Man checking outside the window. Like if that's you, I'm sorry, but that's gonna delay shit. Okay, so if you realize that that's you, use that as motivation to say, oh, okay, right? Now I know what I've been doing. Like when I tried to do fucking fractions in fucking high school, and I'm like, oh, you got to carry the whatever the fuck, you know? It's like it clicks now, okay? Let it click, right? But the problem is it's still so tempting even when we understand that it's an issue, right? But sometimes the best way to detach from the 3D is to not do it from this thing of like, I'm going to detach from the 3D right now because if I don't, I'm not going to get my manifestation. How about drop the whole inner dialogue about manifestation internally to begin with, especially when you were talking about your awareness of the situation, right? Don't ever be aware of the fact that you're doing a manifestation technique, an affirmation, none of that. Because then your reality is going to be like, okay, bro, this dude is just lying. This dude is just, he's a bullshitter. You want to simply do your job. You want to simply do your housework. You want to simply do anything that the normal you would be doing that doesn't have to, that doesn't comply with manifestation, or I gotta do this to improve my possibility that my SP is gonna text me, anything like that, right? Now, maybe for you guys who are trying to manifest money, it could get a little weird when you're doing like your main thing is like your business, right? Because you're gonna keep having those thoughts like, oh, but I mean, if I do this, what if I fuck up my manifestation? But if there's a way for you to distract yourself and not allow those thoughts of manifestation to come in, do them, right? Because again, guys, all it takes is one affirmation and it plants the seed. All it takes is one imaginal act and it plants the seed. So don't get into this fucking idea that you have to robotically affirm. Don't get into this fucking myth that you have to do sats every single night, right? I believe that the only time you should do it is when you feel like it. Okay, you're not supposed to. You don't have to drink coffee every day. Some people say they need it, right? But the thing is like, I also know people who only drink coffee when they feel like it, right? And that's the thing, is it's almost like not everybody's gonna want to eat chicken all the time, even if it's their favorite food, right? They only eat it when they feel like it. Well, your techniques are just a reminder of something that you already have, of a reflection of that parallel reality, where you actually have your SP, where you have the money, where you have the physical appearance change. So you're just tapping into that every single time you do the imaginal act, every single time you say the affirmation. It's not that you are trying to get it. You are tapping into that version that already exists already, right? I mean, for example, I've been at work before and there's a girl being indifferent with me. So sometimes I'll say an affirmation like, her panties are just wet like a tsunami right now for me. And all of a sudden, she starts acting completely different with me, right? Did I do something to get? No, I literally tapped into a reality where that's already true, because it's so strange. Like every single time it happens, it's not a gradual thing. It almost seems like it happened out of nowhere, right? And so this whole idea of like they're slowly changing into this person, you know, yeah, in a way that does happen. But the only thing I don't like about when people say that is it makes it sound like if we are doing manifestation techniques just to change somebody, oftentimes it will feel like it just happens out of nowhere, because that's exactly what it is. The version of you, of your SP, that is denying you right now, is rejecting you right now, is not really interested in you right now, or just circumstances are in the way and maybe they do want you, but it's just complicated. That version of them is an old version that is not on your timeline anymore. You have to call it a separate timeline, okay? But when you really crave your SP and you're like, you know what, but fuck this shit, I'm horny, fuck this shit, I really want them like right now. Like I get what you're saying, Neo. You need to stop looking at the 3D. You need to trust in the end. But I mean, right now I really feel them. Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with going in an imaginal act and seeing you banging the shit out of her. Okay, if she has big tits, if that's one of the number one things that you like, for me with SPs, there's always something about them that really gets me. You know, like with one SP I had, I mean, of course she was beautiful inside and out, but I mean, when I think about her, I just thought about her big fucking ass. So what do I do when I'm wanting her? I give herself to me. Don't say I'm gonna imagine what it would feel like. I'm gonna get her right now. I'm gonna give her to myself right now. You know, like the Song of Solomon, you know, where he's just pleasuring himself in her breasts, right? Pleasure yourself internally. Right? And if you guys want to do it externally, whatever. But I'm telling you, like, I mean, I'm just going to be straight up. Even, and by the way, this is just an example. Obviously, if you're, you know, like, oh, I just want to hold his hand internally, right? I want him to say that he loves me. Let him say it over and over again in your fucking mind. You are the director. You can do it however many times you want. Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not if you say that it's not the same, then okay, it's not going to be the same. But it was the exact fucking same when you manifested the breakup and you saw it beforehand in your mind with all of your insecurities. It was the fucking same when you saw an argument with your boss and then boom, you went to work and then it maybe didn't happen exactly, but it felt the same fucking way. That the inner conversation where you and your boss were arguing internally occurred, right? So it is the fucking same. You just want to feel their physical body right now in the 3D, and that's understandable. But that is why I say that the part of you that is doing the imaginal act internally and hearing him say I love you, but the part that is showing no results in the 3D, that no result in the 3D is just a reflection of the past. So yeah, it sucks that it's not there in the 3D, but it doesn't mean that it won't be. It doesn't mean that it's not working. So you gotta literally allow the 3D to exist on its own, allow it to be its own separate thing. And I promise you that when you stay in this state, right, it will reflect in the 3D. And someone's like, well, how can I know how can I speed up the process? Well, let me tell you one thing. If you even say that, that's already kind of setting yourself up for failure, because you're again admitting that it's not here. If you were just to believe that anything that you want, you can give it to yourself right now internally, which is what Neville calls imaginal acts. But if I say imaginal acts, it just sounds like a technique. So literally, when you know that you can give yourself sex with your SP internally, you can give yourself the feeling of buying that Louis Vuitton bag, the feeling of not having to work a day in your life, drinking a damn cocktail at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You can give yourself that right now. Because guess what? When you're done drinking that cocktail, 2 hours later when you're in traffic and you have to go run errands, you're no longer drinking the cocktail. It doesn't exist anymore, right? When you went into the imaginal act and you have to go to your job, that imaginal act in a way is not happening right now anymore. So what is the difference really? Once that event is over where you are drinking the cocktail, once he says I love you but he has to go to work, it's not happening anymore. You're at the store buying milk. You're at your job at the secretary desk, right? So what does that mean? That means that those things that we're trying to achieve are not happening every single second of the day, which means that the essence of them afterwards are nothing but a memory. So you can just look at the imaginal act where he's saying I love you as a memory, just like the same way when it actually happens in the 3D, it's going to feel like a memory either ways, okay? So if you want to go more in depth in your situation and you need more advanced help, the links are in the description, all right?